Hi, I'm Vinny, and this is Wednesday Wisdom. This is a weekly show where we take time out of our busy schedules to reach out to people who might be really depressed, really stressed out, or just stuck in a rut and need extra motivation. Now, before we go any further, I want to give you guys an opportunity to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified so you never miss another episode of Wednesday Wisdom as well as other additional HVMA content. Now, my motivation for this week, my words of wisdom that I'll bestow upon you is simple. Even superheroes need to take a nap. Now, what I mean by that is, as you guys are out there, whether in your professional career or your business career, you're constantly on the go. You're constantly working and grinding and striving to get to the next level in your career. You know, everybody's constantly working around the clock trying to get this done and that done, and making sure that the reports are on time or your content gets out on time, or, you know, making sure your employees are doing what they need to do. Then you got to go home and see how your family's doing. You're taking care of them, and you are work all the time. Trust me, I can relate because I'm constantly on the go myself. You know, I work here at HVMA, and then when I'm out of here, I have other projects that I do outside of my job here. So I am constantly working. And there was times in my life where I didn't sleep for months at a time because I was constantly working. But the most important thing to remember in the midst of all of this work that you're doing is that at some point, you do have to rest. You do have to take a break. Now, I know a lot of business people out there would tell you otherwise, but here are the facts. If working is a great quality to have. You gotta have it to be successful. You gotta knock down those doors. You gotta be on your toes at all times. But eventually, you can burn yourself out. You can get to a point where you're just exhausted and you have nothing left to give. Because at the end of the day, we're not superheroes. We're human beings. And human beings need sleep in order to recharge. That's what sleep is designed for. That's why you hear a lot of stories about there's some business people who take power naps in the middle of the day. If they have nothing else to do, they'll just take a quick little nap at their desk or a quick little nap, in the break room, and then they get right back up and they're at it again. Hell, I know at Google, they have little Google Sleep Pod areas where you can literally lower a pod over your face and take a nap. They actually have nap time schedules for their employees because they know that you need to have your energy in order to go. That's why at a lot of companies and a lot of, places that you work, they give you lunch breaks. Whether it's 30 minutes or an hour in some places, they know at some point in the midst of your 8-hour day, you need at least an hour to take care of stuff in your life. Whether it's going out and getting lunch or running errands, or if you just need to get away from the office for an hour just to clear your head and calm yourself down. That's why a lot of times you'll see, like in entertainment, certain entertainers, they'll take a break. They'll take a hiatus from acting or comedy or music, or even in radio. Sometimes you hear about a lot of radio stars from time to time taking vacations. And you're wondering, why are they taking so many vacations? It's like, because at some point, they need to rest their heads and recharge. You got to have those moments of recharge, because if you don't, then you'll burn yourself out. Not only will you burn yourself out, but also your work will start to suffer because you're not on top of your game. That's happened to me. There's times where, like, for example, I do podcasting outside of here. There's times where I've burned myself out on my podcast, where I've either run out of topics or I've been half asleep while talking on the microphone, or sometimes audio didn't come out right and I was just so exhausted I didn't fix it and it just went out, and some episodes just didn't sound very good. And it's because I was burned out, and that's when I realized I needed a break, and I took a break, got my head together, and then when I came back, I was able to knock it out of the park. It's also why you see in sports, football, basketball, soccer, baseball, they have an off season. It's because those players, at some point, they need to rest. That's also why a lot of times when they have practice and stuff, usually a day or two before the actual game, they'll have a practice, but it won't be as intense as the other practices because they know at some point they have to rest up for the next game. If you exhaust them too much, when they go out on that field, they ain't going to be ready. That's why, they have like when I wrestled in high school, we used to have a thing called weight day, which was the practice before the match, which was the harder we worked, the sooner we went home. So like we would have like 1 hour of an intense practice, and then once we were done, the rest of the time we were either practicing moves or we were going home and getting sleep and getting ready to go the next day. That's why a lot of times when you're taking the SATs in school, one of the number one things they tell you is get a good night's sleep and eat a good breakfast before you go take the test. Why? Because it gives you the energy you need to keep going. And that is an important thing for people to know, is that, you have to recharge your batteries at some point. Even your phones, they die at some point if the energy's too low, and they need a recharge. So you got to plug them in. And if they're completely dead, then you basically got to sit there and wait till they're fully charged before you can do anything. Otherwise, you're not going to have a phone for much longer. So everything in life needs to rest in order to be the best version of themselves. And I get it. Some jobs, some places, you got to be working 24/7. You got to be on the ball. And I get that. I understand there's a lot of hardworking people out there. And a lot of people keep telling you the hustle, the grind. You got to work. You got to put the reps in. You got to put the time in. You got to show the passion and the dedication. And you do, to a degree. But at some point, you have to be able to tell yourself, hey, I'm exhausted. I'm not doing my best work right now. I need to rest before I can get myself back in the game. It's what I did with this show. I did that episode, Be Productive, and then what did I do? I took a break from that because I had other things that I had to be productive with in order for HVMA to prosper during the pandemic. We had a lot of things we had to take care of, so I couldn't make a video for that period of time. I had to, take care of some other stuff, so the video needed a rest, and then when I was finally able to get back in the game, I'm back in the game. And here I am with another episode, dressed up in a goofy outfit to illustrate my point, Because at the end of the day, people can call you Superman all you want. But the fact is, we're not. Your name is not Kal-El. You don't walk around as a mild-mannered reporter named Clark Kent. We're not superheroes. At some point, you got to rest your body. Because if you don't, you're going to overexert yourself and cause yourself to have more problems. And those problems, inevitably, will delay your success. So you can ignore all those people who say, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Especially in my case, because Duffman can never die. Only the actors who play him. Oh yeah! And that, ladies and gentlemen, will conclude Wednesday Wisdom for this week. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified so you never miss another episode of Wednesday Wisdom, as well as other additional HVMA content. Check back soon for a new episode. And until then, stay social.